Hi, I'm Bruce, and today I am sharing with you my updated Clog list, this time including the newly released card Selene, which is a 1/1 that subtracts 3 power from the lowest power card in both you and your opponent's hand. Basically a shoe-in into any deck that runs Hood and Goblin, with intention of giving over these cards to your opponent. And I got the chance, so to give a little background, I got the chance to play her in this deck in Infinity Conquest, as well as in a more balanced werewolf style deck in Gold Conquest. And my initial thoughts on her is that she is a very solid but very niche card. I can't see her seeing any play outside of decks that run specifically Hood and Goblin, and possibly Hobgoblin as well. And even then, for example, in this deck, she definitely feels like an addition that's a nice to have more than a you need this card for the deck to be good. Right? And I would consider Annihilus to fit that spot of, yeah, you need Annihilus for Drunk to be good. Selene's kind of just a nice addition. She can make or break some games if you get good Selene value. The majority of the time, she's just a nice low-cost thing that you can have in your Annihilus deck, which honestly, it really needs it, because this is the first time I was playing with the adjusted Viper and Black Widow, which basically meant I cut Black Widow out of the deck, because I didn't want so many 3 costs. Instead, I have Daredevil and Selene. Other than that, I kept the deck the same, and it still feels pretty solid, except for Viper herself. Viper herself feels super awkward. I pretty much never played her on 3 if I had Goblin or Debris in hand, unless somehow I had a -6 power Hood or bigger on the board. And yeah, it definitely feels bad. Definitely something I would consider swapping out for possibly just a Carnage or a Black Widow. Something that would just feel stronger, I feel like. It's possible that I also should be running Hobgoblin in here over Doc Ock. I do like the Doc Ock for adding stats when you already clog your opponent though. But though, yeah, those are 2 flex slots I think in the list right now, is Viper and Doc Ock, so you can definitely experiment flipping those out. I think Daredevil is super useful right now, especially if you ever run into the mirror. Having the ability to set up the Shang-Chi's or Elias is super strong into any deck, right? Like, knowing if you have priority going to turn 6 or if you don't have priority, and being able to snap based on that information, I think is very crucial, even if you're running some 50-50s. But yeah, overall, I do think this deck is still strong. Annihilus is still the king of the deck, even though while Viper feels super clunky, there is times that she's useful. And Selene is a nice addition because we are missing a lot in those 2 drop slots, right? Daredevil and Jeff don't really add to the game plan of giving our opponent Drunk, but Selene does, and she's just a -1 that you can send across the board. She powers up your Goblin, she powers up your Hood, and those points do matter in the grand scheme of things. And she does damage your opponent's hand. This is kind of an Iceman effect, I feel like, because a lot of the time my opponent never played out the cards that Selene hit, and I'm guessing that's because on average Selene hits 2 to 3 power units, and those become, right, 0 and -1s, it's basically useless on the board, right? So I think there will be a little bit of underwhelming feeling from that aspect of you can't really tell what Selene's hitting, but she is bricking a card in your opponent's hand most of the time, and I think that is a very powerful effect that will be super underappreciated. But yeah, she's definitely very appreciated in this archetype. I will let you take a look at these games. They're all off stream because currently I'm on vacation. I only have like 1 more day to do actually Infinity Conquest, so I'm going to be trying to get a couple more of those in, but we'll see how those go. But yeah, let me know how the commentary is. They're definitely a lot more focused because I'm very locked in, but I did think that this was a very interesting Infinity Conquest. I have a really big comeback in the first game, followed by a destroy gamer, and then a couple of blob decks that were kind of intriguing to play against. So yeah, it's a good variety of matchups. Destroy obviously is the worst possible matchup, so you get to see how you can beat that. And yeah, let me know how the games are, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace. Oh, and I miscounted, didn't I? Wait, what did I miscount here? I just straight up miscounted. Oops. Alright, well, we'll keep going. Just have to win 5 in a row. Did I misread Dazzler? Should go up 3 per location? Up to you. Alright, I just misread it. That's completely on me. Don't do this. Count properly, Joe. Alright, I probably should have done some warm-up games. I am regretting the Shadow King, by the way, already. But nothing I can do about it, right? That being said, coming back, it's not an impossible feat. You should definitely not retreat just because you lost 8 cubes. I am thinking of it just because I have like 10 more tickets, but we'll see how it goes. True Dimension really sucks. It's going to stop me from playing Annihilus. They do run magic, so they might turn it off for me. Is a positive. Perfect. They do run Shang-Chi. Makes my Sentry and Doc Ock not safe. Also something to watch out for, but that being said, if they Shang-Chi here, they're already clogging themselves up. Some small stuff. I could also put this over here, which means the Shang-Chi is guaranteed clog as well. But they're already pretty clogged, so I'm gonna play Sentry over here. Make them clog themselves over here more. Yeah, they're already playing here. They're armoring here, which means that my Void will be destroyed or go over, guaranteed. But yeah, I get the Daredevil effect here, so I get to see the Annihilus worth it. It's pretty much always going to be worth it. Yeah, so we're going to close off here. And we won't send over this, but that's alright. Set up for an Alliath here is the goal. About putting big stats over here. I do need to remember they can add power here with Blue Marvel, but still would be at -1 if they did so. Ooh, I can even debris here, which is pretty good. I can debris and Jeff so I don't get the rock over here. I fill here and here if they don't fill. Opponent is taking their sweet time. Yeah, we should lock them out here. We go for Sean, sure. The Kitty Pride. And now we actually have a choice if we want to show them the Alliath or not. I think we don't want to show them any new cards, so I am going to play this and move the Jeff, and this even beats the Blue Marvel that they have, right? Blue Marvel would push them to 10 here. I'm going to 13. This way we don't show them this Alliath that they have not seen yet. Could help us steal games later on. Alright, I'll need to do this 4 more times. I do think this is a relatively fine matchup. Obviously you don't want to fall behind 8 cubes and this kind of stuff, but the kind of board clog stuff is stuff I can beat. Magic is really good for my deck as well. The fact that they're running Squirrel Girl definitely hurts themselves, but yeah, they're doing something kind of smart if you're in a bad matchup where they're just trying to snap and force me out of the game. As long as I have a reasonable hand, I'll stay. Here I have Debris and Green Goblins. I think that's reasonable enough to stay. Obviously Rickety is not ideal, especially when it's moving around the board, but we'll have to do our best with that. If I get a Doc Ock, that could be very good here. I don't want the rocks to be destroyed. I might save this a turn. Just throw a goblin somewhere and hope that the goblin is not in the Rickety Bridge location. Then we'll probably put Debris mid after. I could go Debris into Viper, but that seems worse. They might end up magicking here as well. So I think this is fine. Right, magic here, I'm guessing. Okay, that saves me a lot of thinking. One thing to realize, Debris here means that I can't send them over the rock. So I'm definitely more tempted to Debris here. If I'm going that route, I think I'm going the Sentry route though. And Sentry's gonna go over here. And maybe they'll fill themselves here. Angela there, sure. Expecting a Sean here eventually. I think I'm just gonna go for a Selene now. Alright, I think I'm not going for a Selene here. But I will move Jeff here and manually send them over the void. Then maybe into Debris after. I think it's hard for them to fill here and Sean me. Possible they won't go for a Sean this turn. But yeah, I want to send them void as soon as possible. Alright, they go for Sean now, but they get to send them over the void. And now I'm mainly looking for Doc Ock or Eliath here. That's how I win this game from this point. So I want to try and maintain priority going to the last turn. Right, and one thing I can do is this. This should maintain priority. And if they play even one card here, we lock them out with the Selene. I will shrink one of my two cards, but kind of all in on hitting this Doc Ock or Eliath off the top. The other option is to go for a Debris and try and lock them out here, but they're almost always playing Kitty here. Could also go here, but that's just straight up less power, right? And this at least shrinks something in their hand. Oh, armor means I want a Doc Ock here and not an Eliath, because Eliath will not do anything. Alright, so now I've told that Doc Ock is just bigger than whatever they can put out. Don't believe they can win Starlight because they can't go Dazzler and Blue Marble. So unless they have like a Valkyrie hidden that I haven't seen, I don't think they have a way to win here. So I think Doc Ock should be good middle. This guy. Guys emoting because they thought they won. Fortunately, they did not. So we'll give them a little bit of a GG as well. because they're still stuck in here with us. Alright, so last card's Ultron, so now we know their entire deck. Which is a huge advantage for us here, of course. I remember they do run Sean, so they can Sean us here. Ideally, we put Sentry in one of the other lanes. I'll put my hood over here. It is worse for my debris. I think that's fine. It's much easier to clog them here. Okay, they have trouble playing to Hellfire. I'm probably playing debris mid or here. Probably mid, so I can Viper on the right. Portrait is very interesting. Don't know what they're going for. Maybe they're setting up a kitty? If they're not, we get to clog them this turn. I will snap here if they don't play kitty. They play Dazzler. Very intriguing play. I don't think I'm playing Sentry unless I get a... I have to be all in on this Annihilus, right? I mean, I can Shang here eventually. The issue is Sentry is vulnerable to Shang, right? So I'm debating if Viper Demon is ever better. I think we just go for Sentry, and I can always try and Viper the Void, right? Okay, they're trying to fill their... Fortunately, I might be just dead here. They're playing a magic, which honestly might save me here. Because it gives me extra time to find a way out. I can also just Doc Ock middle. I can also decide to leave here. So I don't have this Annihilus just yet. I'll have 2 draws at it. This is a 50% chance to get it. I think I'll take that 50%, alright? And just leave. I think they're too far ahead here, and I don't have this Annihilus. I'm willing to leave. There's no downside to leaving. Still have to win 3 in a row. Well, the downside is if I was definitely, if I was going to draw the Annihilus, then it was a bad leave, but no way to know, right? Crochet is very interesting. I just go Viper on curve. Selene shrinks the Elias, which I don't want to do, right? I'm just gonna play this. Okay, they could have got any of these 4.
Breaking news.
Hopefully not the Viper. The failure? Yeah. It's fine. Fine, because I just get to do this now. I could also not do this. I think I just do this, right? This is 8. Because I could also set this up, which is the other option. Do this, and then Sentry middle is probably better. They have one more spot to play. This is 12, 10 here, so I go up to 7, which does lose. I think I just play Doc Ock here then, so they can't get into here after this turn. So I know what I'm dealing with, right? Okay. Hit the best one, but it's still okay as long as I don't hit Shang-Chi here. Probably a 50-50, I'm guessing. Tron. So yeah, now they're locked out. Ooh, okay. Does this win me the game? And play this here, right? And we win. Because I'll gain 3 here, and I'm up here 8. I'll lose mid, of course, but they can't play here, so. This gets destroyed. Okay, we have Gamma up here. I do have Shang-Chi. I think I'll put Hood here, especially with no Annihilus in hand. That being said, I don't want to commit too much there if I can avoid it. Like for example, I want to keep Daredevil up for sure. But I can consider putting Demon and Urge up there. But they also have Shang-Chi, right? So I might commit Chef, but I think I will leave the Demon. Everything's gonna shift. Especially with Doc Ock coming up, I think this is fine. Go Sean to Doc Ock. If they don't Sean me, it will Sean the Doc Ock instead. Magic is fine. Anytime I get extra turns, it's a-okay with me. That being said, my Sean doesn't really get to be used now. This locks me here, which probably I don't want. Even if I play it here, it gets pulled mid. So I think I just don't play anything this turn, which is a little bit unfortunate. But much better than locking myself, right? I can try Doc Ock. Mid, maybe? Just pull 1 card. Also have Annihilus here. Definitely an option if I can set up. Okay, so they go for an armor and a kitty. So they're capping themselves at 7 here. Could just do this into Annihilus next turn. And just try and get priority. Other option is just to Doc Ock over here or Doc Ock mid. Doc Ock mid probably makes the most sense. Sentry mid is also fine. Let's go Sentry. Sentry mid just forces them to play here again. I mean, they're always playing here because the Elsa and Angela buffs, but I don't think there's really too much of a difference. Fortunately, I'm dead to a few things here. Blue Marvel is a big issue as well. I don't think I ever Doc Ock here. Yeah, playing out this demon sucked. It's just this. Okay, just Bishop is very good for me. So now I have priority. That being said, just Alith could lose to this Blue Marvel. Could move the Jeff out. I'm afraid of Blue Marvel. I'm afraid of Blue Marvel here. I think I just have to say they're not Blue Marveling here. Take the 50-50. It's unfortunate if I lose it. They don't know I have this, so maybe that gets me there. Yeah, I think I might have guessed wrong. No, just Ultron. Okay, I beat this. Okay. Final game. Debris Annihilus, great start. Obviously would have enjoyed any 1 or 2 drop here. Yeah, Jeff is perfect. Remember, they have trouble playing Hellfire, so I want to play Debris over here, ideally. This could buff their Elsa. Wait, Angela is fine. Some RNG in this X-Mansion as well. Sauron turns off their Blue Marvel and Dazzler and their armor. That is very good. Sending my rock over. Depending if I ever Goblin here. I just Goblin over here. Yeah, let's Goblin here. I think this is better. And then Annihilus here. I'll lock them out here. And I just have to fight for over here. Yeah, perfect. Well, I'm always winning here, right? They could Blue Marvel and bring this up to 6. I don't think I ever Doc Ock here. Seems aggressively mid into their deck. But it does completely lock them out of the game. I think I just go Annihilus. I'm struggling to see how they can beat me here. Oh, Bishop is one of those cards that can do it. Oh, and they retreat. Alright, I think the play here, if I were to play this out, would have been Daredevil here, so we're beating... Oh, wait, they don't have Blue Marble because of Sauron. Okay, with that in mind, it's just Daredevil Shang-Chi here, right, which is 15, which they can't beat with anything we know in their deck, right? I want to avoid playing Sentry or Doc Ock because Shang-Chi is still active. And that's the way they could have won here, right? Shang-Chi armor. Or like Shang-Chi, Shang-Chi Squirrel. I actually don't even know. That wouldn't win, right? Shang-Chi armor. It's just 9 here. Yeah, they're just dead on board. Alright, well, we got the comeback, so we get to keep going. That's why you don't leave those types of games. Alright, every close game you win in Infinity Conquest is hopefully some easy games along the way. That was a bit of a clunker. Alright, we're getting to our second game after the clunker of game 1. First thing I always do is check to see if they're a Thanos deck. My opponent is not. Neither of us were able to play onto Blackstone early. I do get a Tinkerers here, which means I can play out this Viper just as 4 stats, which sometimes is enough. Getting Selene here kind of sucks because I would want to send it over, but I think with Blackstone I definitely want to fight for that. If I win it, I can Sentry, right? And maybe snowball off of this. Okay, we are in a Destroy matchup, which is very difficult. That being said, we do have Eliath and Doc Ock for this. In fact, I'm actually going to snap here, so I'm fairly certain that 14 is always winning here, and against Destroy, you always need to take the initiative in snapping, because like I said, this is a fairly difficult matchup. Your debris basically do nothing, they can destroy your voids, and so on. So they go to 11 here. Still fine by me. I'm just going to go for a Doc Ock. Hopefully empty out some of their important cards. In fact, like I want to full empty them with the Doc Ock. So I'm going to do so mid instead of over here. Sean is great. This stuff maybe I can utilize later. They could put more power here, but then they won't have any cards to use it with, so definitely going with the Doc Ock here. They run Ham. Okay. Intriguing. So yeah, they're going up 1 there, but they're not going to have any cards. Yeah, that hitting the Sean is pretty unfortunate. So I don't also run Shadow King. This was one matchup you definitely want the Shadow King in. Yeah, that being said, we did pull Null and Death, which are 2 very scary cards otherwise. They are snapping me here, which is a little bit intriguing. I'm definitely staying with this Annihilus top deck, and we're going to go from there. I don't think they have a way to win over here, so I'm just going to go for Eliath here, and we'll play for 8. Right, they still have Carnage likely in the deck, etc. One thing I could lose to is a Zola play. They have it, they have it. I think it's just what I'm going to say about that. Nice, got 8 cubes off the Destroy deck. Clog, very huge, very huge. That being said, this is definitely a matchup that can swing in their way. One thing to note is we destroyed 5 power of stuff there. It's very likely it was Carnage plus a 3 power card. I don't think I'll ever be able to find out what that 3 power card is. But yeah, so we just need one good set of wins here. This is not a matchup that I'll snap aggressively in to try and close it out, even though I do think it's pretty bad. I think with Cosmos and this being, specifically this being on the left side, is not good for me, because this will get hit by their hand. Definitely don't want to send them a Goblin. I guess I could do it now. If they're greedy, we'll lock them out. Potentially. Okay, so now they need a Killmonger, which is very possible for them to have. That being said, I do have... I don't know, I have to see if they have Killmonger. If they have Killmonger, they get a free death this issue here. Definitely not worth snapping there. Did manage to throw priority, so I could go for Doc Ock here, or Annihilus. Either or. Doc Ock mid would be what I go for if I'm going for a Doc Ock. I think I go for Doc Ock mid. So they'll trigger their guy, and then we'll pull their last 2 remaining cards there. And they won't get buffed by Shuri's Lab, which is the important thing. Wow, they filled themselves there? Okay. Well, I guess I should have snapped here then. Oh, Sean. Okay. Never mind. No. Well, unfortunately here, I do not have my Shang-Chi, which would have caused me to close out this game. Likely they top deck Death, which is why they're snapping. Annihilus never does it, right? Because I'm down here by 13, so I think I just take the 1 cube retreat. It's deterministic loss, right? Yeah, we gotta find out they have Shang-Chi for 1 cube, it's pretty nice. They're snapping here. My hand's decent enough, I'm definitely staying. Nowhere is pretty bad for them. If they're ever greedy with their Deadpool, still shrink it. Alright, we'll go all in this time. Yondu hits my Doc Ock. It's fine. So Alan, buff of Sean, keep in mind. So Daredevil, probably into Draft into Viper Hood. Oh, that's an annoying pig. Being said, out of all the hits, probably survive that one the most. Expecting Venom here, I guess. I don't know why they'd put Spider-Ham there if they're Venoming. Do have to keep in mind Death is 7 now. And they destroyed a 10 power card, so Null is 10, which is a little bit unfortunate. Alright, so there's a 10 power, so they have a 20 power Null. And Death is discounted by 4. So it's a 4 power Death. Because they run Sean and I don't have... See, the issue of playing for nowhere here is that they're likely going to null there eventually, but I think playing here is just worse into Sean, right? Although I suppose if they Sean, they do it this turn. I don't have Annihilus. I think I just have to do this and hope that they're not nulling or they have to null here, something like that. They are shrinking their null now. Their null just lost 8, 1 to 10 power. The null is now 10 power, but their death is basically free. Annihilus is a poor top deck considering that I just played the sentry over here. But yeah, their null is now 10. Would have preferred to see a Sean top deck. That being said, I do get priority here, which is pretty nice. This is going to be 0 plus 1. 6. Technically, this also gives me priority there. If I want to play Annihilus here, and then I could Goliath mid. I think it's safer just Annihilus mid. Gonna have a 4 power Deadpool, a free death, and an 8 power null. I could also do this, and then move the Jeff and Goliath mid. It's probably the play, actually. I could also play here. And move you here and fight for all 3 lanes. This is the play if I think they're just gonna stack everything here. I think it's a little bit silly to assume that they do. I think this is a test how smart they are kind of play here. And if they play everything here, that means I should probably fight for all of them, like they're actively playing around Goliath. I think this is the better play in general. Okay, they did play around this Goliath. That being said, I don't think they did enough. Yeah. As soon as I saw the Wolverine and Deadpool, right? You know that the most they're committing there is death on top of that. And they didn't play around Jeff moving, it looks like. They did play around me playing Annihilus here, funnily enough. But in the place where I play Annihilus here, I'm moving the Jeff over here as well, right? So, alright, we got a win against a Destroy matchup. Probably the worst matchup we can face. So getting that is pretty huge. Alright, we are getting into the 3rd game of our Infinity Conquest. This time we are playing against someone with a Loki avatar. I immediately assume that this is a Loki player, but maybe I can be proven wrong. Negative zone, definitely where I want to put my hood, especially with Viper in hand. We'll see where we throw this Goblin. They're not Thanos, check the deck here. Shuri's Lab is very interesting. I think I'm going to go with Selene here just so I can guarantee the Viper hit. I still want to figure out what they're playing before I snap. Obviously if they're playing a Destroy deck, this would be a terrible snap playing all my 1-drops early. Scorpion. I don't know what that means. That could mean like 10 different things. But I think I will snap here, especially with an Overwhelming draw. Question is, does Goblin go middle? I think it does. I think I will snap it. Feels a little bit weird snapping in blind. Scorpion makes me think Haiva, but could be a few different decks. This Goblin is kind of gigantic middle if they don't have a way to deal with it. Some spot, yeah, this looks like Haibu. So I do have to keep in mind that their A-bomb is reduced a little bit right now from my hood. Playing Playing Sentry here seems kind of bad, honestly, so I think I'm just going to play Viper on curve. I could also play Viper over here. And this is better. Yep, Haiva. So Cosmos, main thing I have to worry about here. This draw would be Annihilus. Debris is pretty good as well. This Debris lets me do this, which does lock them out a decent portion of the time. And I get the bonus on the Druff here. Being said, I can't really win here, which is a little bit worrying. Hopefully they play middle. They do not. Yeah, this might be a 50-50 here. On where their big guy goes. I think I do this and just hope that it's going here. Because they want the double. Yeah, the boomer snapback made me think that that's what they were gonna do. And yeah, this is why Goliath is so good in this deck, and why I think honestly you can't really play Clog without it. Is that it does help you deal with these like just one big card things where they're just gonna leave one space and try and fight for the last space with one big card. Because you can't always Clog fully without like really good hands. That was an okay peek hit. It could be a snap because generally it's pretty bad for them. Because they didn't play a one drop, I'm gonna snap here. I also have this Debris Annihilus, which is very, very good. I know 1 or 2. I can't believe they stayed, honestly. Citadel is intriguing. Can I play this over here? Also play this over here. I think playing it mid is incorrect. Although it's kind of hard for them to play one drops mid. Yeah, let's play mid. Probably go Hood Chuff next turn into Annihilus. Yeah, I think they're more likely to be on the sides. Looks like they're avoiding the Onslaught Citadel. Playing this here means they're probably going to fill immediately after, so I think I'm going to play this over here instead. Okay, they played that middle, so they're going to shrink the Druff a little bit more. Oh no, it was flipped. Okay, that's fine then. Okay, I get to set up this Goliath here, maybe. Playing Sunspot over there, and that's it. So 1-0 Sunspot's gonna go up 4. And put 9 here. And this is a play. I think I don't move the Druff as well. At least not this turn. Could also go for a Doctor, but I think Doctor is incorrect as well. If I move 9 over, it's gonna go 4 and have 5 here. Okay, I think I move this here. No, I move it next turn because if the Cyclops hits a second time, their Abomination doesn't go to 3, which is what it would go to this way around. Right, so now their Abomination is still 4. Which means I can move this and they can't play Abomination and pass. Right? That being said, I still have to play something middle. Okay, they just retreated. They saved me some math here. There's definitely a few ways they win here with the Cyclops double hit. And honestly, just full pass is super scary because I can't play this demon middle. But yeah, they saved me some thinking by retreating. We'll take it. Definitely take those. Alright, we're going into round 4 of Infinity Conquest. This time, also not a Thanos deck. Remember, Kamarta bounces back the goblins. Sometimes I forget that. Nexus is intriguing. We're pretty good on Nexus in general. I think I might just snap this goblin here. It is awkward sometimes to snap blindly, but unless they're a destroy deck, we're in a really good spot. And even if they are destroy deck, Sentry, Annihilus, into possibly Goliath is super strong. So I'm gonna snap this. And double Selening their hand is very good. Basically kills a card. See an armor here. Could mean pretty much anything. Instead, it does make Green Goblin a little bit scary because if they go Cosmo, it's scary. That being said, maybe it just gets pulled into Great Web. Great Web's actually super awkward here. Go double Electro. They could be running an Annihilus Electro deck as a possibility. I know some people were pushing that at one point or another. I think either way I just go for Debris into Annihilus over the Sentry, since my Sentry can get pulled. Go for a Magneto. Totally fine by me. I can follow up with this Annihilus, which will destroy the rocks. A little bit spooky if they go Goliath this turn, but if they go Goliath this turn, I go Sentry next turn, right? So, totally fine by me. They go for a Blob, which means I need Shang-Chi if I'm planning on winning this. It's a 1 in 4 top deck. I miss it, so now I have to leave. A little bit unfortunate. Alright, so it's a Blob deck. Intriguing. It's probably that Blob Solo Taskmaster deck. If they get their Electros, it's a little bit annoying, but they can't really solo Fire Debris. It's interesting they were all in on no Shang-Chi there. Maybe we can get some cubes off of Shang-Chi later if they think we don't have it. Fortunate. Could not be a 49 Blob. 49 is insane. That means they're running Infinite probably. Oh, I should have looked. You know, I always make this mistake. I made it again. You can look to see in the Blob what your opponent is playing. And that would have been very huge there, right? Doc Ock honestly is intriguing if they go for a wave here. They did not go for a wave. Yeah, I'm just thinking of Snap here since I'm going to have the Daredevil down. And this will give me the opportunity to Shang-Chi them next turn if they go for a Blob. Potentially. They will get my Goliath for sure. It's a possibility. I guess I could have priority here. Yeah, if they play the other side. Okay, but they just go for Blob there. I just go for Annihilus here. They'll get to see my Shang and my Goliath. That's fine. I'll get to play whatever their 6-drop is here. They can't win middle, right? Yeah, they can't really win with these cards either. We do get to see a ton of my deck. I do get to see what they pull with Blob though. Okay, Taskmaster, Crossbones, sure. Right, but I didn't give them anything they can play Sean with, so I just do this. I mean, this is probably just safer. Right, they only have the 4 cards I gave them, which were Selene. Yeah, they have no way to win here. They literally can't win. Yeah, I got to see. I know their whole deck right now. Crossbones, Living Tribunal is something I'll have to watch out for. Triganto and Infinite, and Psylocke. So Taskmaster, Crossbones, Living Tribunal are their last 3 cards that don't show up in the deck tracker. Do want to win here. It's kind of hard for them to win here. They do draw some spot and curve though, and I don't have a 2. I might have to leave their winning castle. Man. Yeah, I bricked my draw here. They did get to find out a lot of my deck. Maybe that was worth 2 cubes from them for sure. That being said, them winning Blackstone here, they can't do anything on 4 outside of Crossbones. So if they don't have Crossbones, maybe I can steal it back. I don't know. We do have armor on curve. I'm gonna go this into Sentry and Annihilus, I think. I'm not gonna snap it, since this is Vesuvius game and they're ahead. Okay, I think they're playing here, right? Now I do this, and then I Annihilus. And I just have to watch out for a Magneto. They are pumping the Sunspot for sure. Hey, I think I have to play this here. Issue is if they play Blob mid, they can just soak for the Sunspot. I play here if I plan on playing Eliath here. I think I'll stay for a potential 4, but it's really sucky. They snap me and then they like skip. Yeah. Right now I wish I played Annihilus left. Problem here is they're in a Taskmaster and they still soak 1 from this. So because I didn't play Annihilus here, I lose, right? We know for a fact they have Taskmaster. And I don't have any way to beat that. Like I can go like this, but I still just lose right to the 1 soak. But they're not snapping me, so it's fine, I guess. I know I lose to the soak, but they didn't snap me on Vesuvius. I had no other play. I needed to play Annihilus on the left. It's fine. I can't leave. It's Vesuvius game. A little bit unfortunate, but kind of 50-50 on whether or not they played for the vault. Space Throne really good for me. Obviously Necrosha is great. And go Debris into Annihilus to just safely win the throne, right? if they play there, it's fine. Great Web obviously is a little bit awkward, but because it does let them play there for free. Hopefully I'll draw a hood here. Do not. Still think I play Selene since I'm going to play Annihilus. Even though it does shrink the Goliath here. Because I get to send over to Selene next turn, right? Okay, and then I can send this rock over to you potentially. And if they play for middle, I can Shawn it. Or if they play Blob middle this turn. Just want to maintain priority and just do this. And it can't move. Important to remember. Yeah, I should do this here. I do want something to play over here so that my Shang-Chi doesn't get moved, but they can't Taskmaster this. So I think we're good. Because I'll get to Shawn it first, right? So far they haven't been leaving on Shawn kills.
The mystery intrigues me.
I should think about Tribunal somewhere. In this case it doesn't matter. Most cases it shouldn't matter. Because it means that Blob is down, naked. Alright, we're going to high stakes. Up 2, which is pretty good. This is also pretty good for me. They struggle playing into Gamma Lab. I run Shawn. Get to play Daredevil Debris there. That being said, yeah, I'm gonna wait to see what else happens. Selene is tempting. I'll play Selene there maybe if I draw Wood or Green Goblin, but probably not otherwise. I'm surprised they played Armor. They're probably playing for Dark Dimension here. Oh, Big House is really good for me, right? Alright, I'm gonna snap this. I mean, they're almost certainly gonna leave. Pretty much unplayable for them. I get to Goliath Dark Dimension as well. Should stop any sort of Blob or Tribunals nonsense. Alright, so now I just need to not lose 3 in a row, which should be pretty straightforward into this matchup. Sinister London's pretty good if I can get some stuff to give them. This hand is not very good for it, but like if they have ramp here and they just play an early Blob, they can definitely win. I need to get like goblins and stuff. Ideally goblins. But yeah, their armor here is rough for me. That being said, I get double debris, which is pretty good. Definitely take advantage of it. I mean, their board space is key here. I do have to remember that I can run out of board space potentially because of these armors. It's not as free as sometimes it is. Right, so if they have a Blob here, I think I do lose. Although I can do this and then possibly Shawn a Blob. Might be my play, actually. Since this is free and we know the Blob goes there for sure. Right, so I do this. into this, into Sean. I think that always wins. Let's move. I need to make sure to leave Jeff a place to move, right? Although I guess these both get destroyed. I think I'm good. So I can just do this, right? These will always be destroyed. I can move Jeff here. This way I can make sure I repeat the sunspot. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm afraid of here. Only Void gets destroyed actually, the rock stays. Crossbones, sure. They could get me here, right? I can do this. This puts me to 16, but a full soak gives them 7, 10, 18. I do lose here, just to soak. But not like I can leave, right? Yeah, Crossbones was the one card I couldn't beat, right? Because Crossbones dodges the Sean. A good play by them. I don't think I could have done it much better there. Pegasus is not the best for me. It does mean I get to put out... Ooh, okay. Actually, means I get to Doc Ock, which is nice. I think with Sentry, I don't want to pull them here. I think just pull them here, honestly. Just empty their hand. We could pull out an early Blob, just wins, right? Did not pull out the early Blob. A little bit unfortunate. That being said, them losing the wave is kind of nice for me. Sunspot being mid kind of sucks. It's probably the lane I'm giving up. They could only play Electro or Psylocke here. I think I go for a Goblin there. Could also go for a Goblin here. I think Goblin here just is the winning play though. And then I can Sentry middle safely, right? Trying to set up an Alliath here. Because I can follow it up with the Viper, right? And they have no ramp. Just future, no Psylocke or Electro means they literally can't play anything. I don't think I even hood here. I think I just send this over. Just take the guaranteed. I need Viper to go here, I guess, to guarantee the Alliath win. A little bit spooky. Okay, Viper needs to go left here. Okay, perfect. Alright, so even if they skip, I'm winning left in, right? Assume it would be... Oh, they can't even blob, right? Because then they lose mid. Yeah, I think we have them just full checkmate. I mean, we definitely have them full checkmate, knowing we have Alliath. But even if we didn't have Alliath, best I could do is like Psylocke Electro, right? I could still soak. Maybe Tribunal. Tribunal would lose them every lane though, I think. Right, because it would be an average of 8. I actually would round up to 9. Should tie. And then just lose the breaker miserably. Alright, very solid, very solid. A little bit scary at points there, but... Alright, we're going into game 5 now. Our opponent notably is not playing Thanos. Reasonable starting hand. Have Annihilus, always very good, nice. Have a 2-drop on 2. Instead, definitely want to figure out what your opponent's playing first. Valley of the Hand, important interaction with Sentry. Void, as a Void will come back in Valley if they fill. Right, they did not play anything. Could be a ramp list, maybe? That's immediately what I think. They don't play here, I'll snap. Yeah, I do want to figure out what they are playing. High Eva, okay. Interesting. Nivedillier makes my hand a bit more awkward, for sure. Because Annihilusing them, that is like negligible, right? Maybe they go for a spot. Let's say a magic. See what they do here. And maybe I'll snap. Basically I snap, but I think I can beat a Hulk here. They full passed, which means they're setting up a She-Hulk, right? Interesting. This could mean I could go for a Sean instead. Next turn. So he's gonna go down to A tier. I'm gonna snap this. Play this mid. So I'm up. Play this here. I'll set up Sean here. Fighting for all the lanes. They go She-Hulk here. They also have to add power here. Should be winning Nivedillier with these three. Post on spot death. Alright. They might stay and play like She-Hulk and 2 here. Wow, do they have a way to win here and here? It's a good read if that's true. They need more than She-Hulk here though. Tie. They just went for a tiebreaker? That's crazy. That's why I put Annihilus mid, is because I was certain you would never fight for a tiebreaker in that scenario, right? They need to contribute more here. And contribute 4 here, right? I guess they just thought they had the points. Okay. It's a good start for us. Let's not let it get too in our head. Usually I like Hood mid over right because they like to fill the right for the Sentry, right? So you want to try and clog the other parts of the board. Yeah, this looks like just high evo She-Hulk. Usually the win con here is the full clog. That's really the only way you can get over the top with the magic and all that stuff. I'm going to proactively play out this Green Goblin. I'm going to play Debris over here. They're snapping me. Could mean a number of things. My hand's good enough that I will stay though. It's just a lot of clog. Obviously a bit spooky. They played an early Blob. Alright, so I need a Shang-Chi to deal with this. If I get a Shang-Chi, I win. They also just told me 8 cards in their deck, which we get to see now. They're running Tribunal, Infinite, Hulk, She-Hulk. Okay. This is actually kind of unfortunate. That's a little bit unfortunate that we ended up fighting for this location. Do they want armor? Sure. The question is, how big is their last card? Because they don't have anything big here, right? No She-Hulk, no Hulk. They have Cyclops in hand? No, they have no Cyclops. No Sunspot. Maybe a Magneto? I think I'm gonna snap this back. Play this here, play Annihilus here, try and set up priority for an Goliath, basically. Probably double stack these and move us over here. Wave. They have 2 cards left. Maybe they're playing a 6-drop here, a little bit spooky. Then I can Sean it. Move this here for priority, play this here. You can Sean it if it's big, or Eliath if it's small. I'm up 20 here, and I'm up 8 here, so just Eliath wins. Even if they go Taskmaster, right? Taskmaster, they just can never put 20 here, right? Even if they Sean, I'm still up 7. So they always play for here. And Eliath will shut that down. There we go. First try. Infinity Border. Whoops. Selene Clog. So to give some background, I mean, I'll give this background at the end of at the start of the video. I'll do like a little intro. But this was my first run of Selene. After playing it, she seems okay. I'll be honest, she was never really the difference maker, but she's a solid 1-drop in a deck that's really lacking it, right? You usually would run like a Nebula or Titania in that slot, and I think she is a solid upgrade over those. The deck still hurts, honestly. I don't know if Viper was worth it in most situations. There was one game, right, versus the Blob ramp where we didn't have Annihilus, and Viper, we just Vipered on 5 instead, and that was very solid, but we're really lacking strong 2s. I think Daredevil is really good in that slot, especially since we're running both Eliath and Sean. I can always set one of those up for the last turn using the Daredevil, especially if we don't know what our opponent is playing early on in the series. I think he loses some value the later in Conquest you go, unless your opponent has a lot of different playlines. But I do think he is close to being a staple. Jeff is very solid for a similar reason. You just get to move it for priority's sake, and it's very powerful for that. But yeah, honestly, I would definitely be open to exploring Black Widow over this Viper. Even Hobgoblin over Viper or Doc Ock. Doc Ock was solid in the cases where he was solid, but honestly, maybe Hobgoblin would have served a similar purpose and it would have more synergy with Selene. There's a couple cases where like we Selened our Eliath. But yeah, overall very solid. I think this was a very good run. So yeah. This will be up tomorrow. I'll make sure. Or tonight. Yeah, first one of the season. We'll see how many more we can do. Honestly, if I just keep completing them, I probably won't get any done before my trip. But yeah, we get the sweet miles.